Ever since I bought this old car factory in Detroit, people have been trying to break into this place, so I am building a Battlegate like they have in Mad Max. In part 1, we got the materials for the gate and we put it together into a basic frame. In part 2, we went to a scrapyard and got more material and we installed crash cables on the gate that can take up to 10 tons of force. In part 3 of this episode, we're going to be putting spikes on the gate because spikes are cool. You can't have a Mad Max Battlegate without spikes, so we're going to learn together how to make some spikes. This is the current state of the gate. It is 40 feet long, 8 feet tall, and almost 1,000 pounds of American steel. And it is going to get another 1,000 today. So I got this to demonstrate what we're going to do. We are going to lay a piece of metal like this on the top here, and this is where the spikes are going to get mounted, because we can't put the spikes on the top because then they would interfere with the rollers. This is a big sliding gate, a 3,000-pound sliding gate. So we're going to mount a piece of metal that we got from the scrapyard right here, somewhere on the front of it, and then put our spikes coming off of this piece here. Remember, this is the top of the gate, and that's the bottom. So this is just a demo piece. We have to actually go get our scrap metal from the shop, and the other scrap metal we have is not nearly this nice, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to treat it. This is the scrap metal that we got at the scrapyard that I got for a song, but it's nice and rusty. That's probably what makes it cheap. But what we saved in money, we are going to lose in time because we need to clean all of the rust off of this metal. So was it a good deal? I don't know, but don't get hurt as I blow the window out of my vehicle. All right, let's not break anything. As you can see, this is a pretty tough piece of metal. This is a 1/4-inch wall, rectangular tube. It's probably 3 by 2. Every day is Arms Day. I will show you what I mean right here. Woo, that was fun. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. So there's a 26-foot opening for the gate. So this is the opening that's exposed to the public. The rest of it is behind the fence. So this is as far as our defenses will need to go. That's quite a ways. And so this is not only going to add a place for us to put our spikes, but it's going to add a lot of rigidity to the project. It's going to add a lot of stonky. The problem, though, is that this metal is very rusty, and it can't be this rusty to be a part of the gate because it needs to be welded. So now I need to clean it up. So let's clean it up. How am I going to clean all the rust off that tube? This guy. This is a tubing sander, tubing cleaner. I use this for round tube. It's like 30, 40 bucks on Amazon. It goes on any angle grinder of your choosing, and it's actually super fun to use. We'll see it in progress now. That's not going to work because it's not round. It's trying to clean up the corners. It's not cleaning up the flat surface. I didn't think of that. I normally use this on round tube. Let me show it to you on round tube. See how rusty this round tube is right now? It's not work, but it's a lot easier than getting at it with something flat. We're gonna need to find a different tool for this flat stock. So we will instead use a flap wheel. These are super common. It's less abrasive than a grinding disc. It won't really punch into the metal very much, but it'll take the surface off, no problem. This is a lot of work. There are so many sides and so much tube. It's not that much. So that is done enough for now to do the basic welding. I will probably clean up more later. So what I want to do is I want to put a chamfer on the end of the tube to meet this right here. I just want that to be a nice little reveal. And for that, I get to try out yet another new tool that I have. This whole thing is basically an excuse for me to just buy new tools. So let's go get it. Ta-da! This is the new Evolution cold saw. And you might ask yourself, Andy, don't you already have an Evolution cold saw? And yes, I do. This one has an LED on it that shows me where it's cutting, and it also has a motor brake, so I'm excited to try it out. Evolution did not sponsor this video, but they did send me this saw for free, so you be the judge. Now I have to put the stand together. Is this the right way to move this? No. Is it working? Yes. There we go. With that, I got my new saw put together. We still have our old saw, which we'll use too. But this is going to take me like 2 or 3 days to do if I do it all by myself. So we brought back a special guest, Nick. He's a man of many words. There he is. Hi, Nick.
Yay!
And we've also got one of our students from our Detroit student racing team, Javon, who's gonna help us out. So you might notice this is that roofing deck that we bought at the metal store. And so this is going to be the plate that guards the whole gate. It's like the structure of the gate that allows people to not get in. But we need to know where to put it. Because of the way the ribs work, we have to lap the ribs over. It's just easier to show you what we're talking about. So let's move some metal. It's gonna be fun to move. These sheets are 24 feet long. How much do you think this weighs? 60 pounds, 70 pounds? Probably 100 pounds, yeah, cool. That looks pretty good. Alone, this stuff isn't super strong. It's only 22 gauge steel, which is pretty thin. But the point is that it's corrugated. So when you push down on it, which is the way a car would push, it's super strong. It's the same stuff that they make the roof decking for the factory out of, which the factory has a lot of roof leaks, so don't blame it. This stuff, when you push on it, thankfully, super tough. How do you pick it up so much more intelligently? So you want to do 2 ribs? Yeah. It is pretty, isn't it? It's gonna get worn in pretty quick, you know? This looks good. I can technically lay on this and it should hold me no problem. The question is, would I fall getting on or off? Yes. Yes, I would. So now we're gonna cut our 45 degrees here on the end so this meets up really nice. It's not essential, it just looks cool. This one. I'm using this saw right now because it's such a gigantic piece of metal. And on this one, the saw itself miters. On the other one, it's the base that miters. Mitering meaning putting it on an angle. Just a little bit easier to use big metal on this saw. Tighten down all my clamps, check my cut, fire it up. Oh yeah. Nice. What I like so much about this kind of saw, these cold saws, carbide saw or whatever you want to call it, is the cut you get is just so crispy off of it. Like there's like no burrs. Look at that. It's not hot. I'll never go back. Weird, the metal we got from the scrapyard isn't perfectly flat. So strange. Oh. We've got our spike bar cut, we've got it chamfered, and now we're gonna tack weld it in so that we can see everything works. The sheet is all lined up. This should be the spot for it. It's looking really good. It's looking like a Battlegate. Like it's looking pretty Mad Maxy right now. Still deciding what to paint it, if we're gonna paint it at all. I think flat black, but we'll see. I like the rust color. We got spike bar number 1 tacked in, which is nice. It's perfectly aligned. Spike bar number 2 doesn't really fit. It doesn't line up quite right, so I need to grind something out of it so that it fits. It's a gate made out of scrap. You're gonna have some imprecision here and there. Well, that was a completely thankless task. If I ever have to do that again, it'll be too soon. The wrong way to do that was grinding it. I should have cut slits and removed the material with a saw, so learn that one. While Nick tacks the spike bar in, Javon and I are gonna go get the material for the spikes themselves from the back. Still wanna be a metal worker?
Going into the ironworks probably for like a year. A year until I have my college stuff figured out. I wanna have like a good job.
What kind of ironwork stuff you wanna work on?
I don't know, like I wanna be in like bigger projects, like for example, the Hudson building. I think that'd be great.
You want to make some money.
Yeah.
You got family in ironwork?
I do.
Who's that?
My brother-in-law, he's a foreman in the ironworkers right now. He's been there for about 6 years, and it should allow me to get in pretty much a lot easier.
What's your favorite metal project that you've worked on?
The Battlegate.
Ah, yes.
The Battlegate's cool.
That's the right answer, my man. Let's get these 2. That's heavy. You can turn around. We just put them on the ground. We'll bring the saw to the work. We got our round bar stock now, which we're gonna make the spikes out of. It's loaded into the new saw. We get to try out the shadow line, we get to try out the new motor brake and all that and see if it's any better than the old saw. All right, let's try out the new saw. I like the brake. Woo, look at that. Perfectly clean, right off the saw, right there. That's good. It's just not cutting. It's like it gets to that thick part of the bar and it just gives up the ghost. It smells hot. Yeah, I don't know, man. Something got sad. It doesn't look damaged. Good luck, little buddy. The tips are on fire. Well, we are at an impasse. This is a challenge. Okay, good news, bad news. Good news is we cut some awesome looking spikes. These things are awesome. They have an awesome finish on them. I love this. Bad news, we've overloaded the saw. I read the manual, which I sliced open when I opened it. It's rated for 1/2 inch mild steel. This is 1 inch. It's too thick and it totally melted on the saw. It's just not made for it. If it was tube or if it was flat, it might cut better, but this round stuff is impossible. It's not the saw's fault. We actually took a piece of metal and we ran a test cut on it afterwards. The blade's totally fine. It's just turning into lava as we cut it. So we're gonna find another solution to cut this super thick stuff or switch our spike material. This is how these projects go. So see ya in a bit. It is 1 week later and I have figured out what I did wrong with the saw. It's actually kind of obvious now. So this is 1 inch bar stock here. It's round. If you cut it on a diagonal, that's actually much more than 1 inch. Hold on, I will show you exactly what I mean. Come here. So when you have 1 inch bar stock, you have basically a circle. That is a wonderful circle. It's about that big. It's about 1 inch around. But when you cut it on a 45, you get much more than 1 inch for your circle. That's a horrible circle. You get almost 50% larger when you cut on the 45. When I cut on the 1 inch, it was pretty much fine. When I flipped it over on the 45, too much heat built up. So the answer is to go to a smaller diameter. I got this rebar, and it's actually a lot spookier to see a spike shaped out of this instead of the big round stuff. But even though the rebar isn't that much smaller than the round bar stock, the circle that you cut through is way, way smaller, which means way less heat buildup. And so I'm now going to cut 100 of these spikes to add to the gate. And to prove that I can do it, I already cut 10 of these, and they worked great. So I can cut 90 more, and we will have a Battlegate. This is a 6 inch spike. I think that looks pretty good there. That's intimidating enough. These are going to be every 3 inches along the gate in sort of a zigzag pattern. And it should make it really inhospitable to hop over the gate.
Maybe they don't want to, yeah. Maybe they just need to, yeah. Maybe I could see through, yeah. All of these angles.
Hey, you remember Liz from the first episode, right? Hey, now she's +1 boot. Yeah, what do you do?
You know, like some sidewalk just came out of nowhere and like just attacked me, so.
Are you gonna set that on fire while welding?
No.
Yeah, that's combustible.
So I actually made a little thing, I'm not done yet. I was kind of making this last minute, don't laugh, but they're basically like they're welding gloves. These little welding sleeves. I just put them together and I'm basically making a giant booty. I'm doing like a very quick base because I really want to weld, so I'm just doing it really fast.
I think I may have damaged this blade when I went for my bigger spikes that I was making. I think I did something bad to the metallurgy or to the tooth shape. I don't know, they look fine. All right, so I've made a decision. It seems I've destroyed both of my new blades cutting this too thick stuff on the EvoMax blades. And so I'm switching to the old saw, which it turns out cuts perfectly. So as the other one took over a minute to cut through because I was turning it into lava, basically this one, the old saw, which I've used a lot, cuts through much quicker. Let's see. I don't know much about saw blade metallurgy, but I think I wrecked the other ones, and this one is the one to do. The other saw was melting the ends. This is super flush and clean, so I'll continue with this saw. So to make 100 of these, I need 100 of the exact same length. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark here on my table exactly where I want that, so I don't need to break out my example every single time. I should get 100 identical stakes within Battlegate specifications. They don't all need to be flawless. It's Mad Max-gate.
good? All right, we're ready.
So I've been cutting for like half an hour. So that's 2, 4, 30, 32. That's 32 spikes. I'm a third of the way there. Yeah! It's actually pretty heavy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So in my infinite genius, I've decided, since one was going so well, I'm going to stack 2 of them so that I get done earlier, which is certainly going to be the kiss of death, but I'm going to see what happens. Will this be my greatest innovation? Probably. Good luck, Saw. I like getting done sooner.
Yellow.
Can I go back to being a car guy now? Do I have to be a metal fabricator forever? I just want to turn wrenches, please.
So, we need more.
Here's my count. They have 28 spikes. I have 6, 7 more spikes to get to 100. Whoa, that's a weird shaped piece of rebar. It's like a waffle that went through the waffle iron the wrong way. That's delicious sounding. That was officially my last spike. This is the 100th spike. So now I can fully focus on helping them weld because they need help in all kinds of ways.
I don't know if. Cutesy. Damn it. So close. Good enough.
We finished all the spikes. The spikes are welded, which is great. So now we can put on the decking. This decking is what's going to make the surface of the gate impervious. We have to find ways, though, of making it so it laps properly and it's all smooth the whole way down. This is a 26-foot opening on a 40-foot gate, so it's a lot to mess up. We are using a self-tapping screw here to attach the decking to the tubes because you don't want to use a weld. It's 22 gauge to 1/8. It's kind of like welding a candy wrapper to a battleship. These are going to work great. Yes, you could technically unscrew them if you had an enormous amount of time. Maybe we'll tack these in or use an epoxy or something. But right now we're going to get the deck attached so it's done. That's on there. It takes a minute. And with that, we have the decking attached on the gate, which means it's time for one more test, which is walking on it. If it can take a hit from a car, it should be able to be walked on. I mean, feels pretty good, guys. That is your Battlegate for this week. Next week, I don't know, rent a crane. We got to hang this thing. So see you then. Bye.